Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in with Lady C today, and I have two guests that are with us that we're going to share on the topic of what do women really want and 45 over and dating. And so today we have the guest of Mr. Dunn, and I'm allowed him to have words and introduce himself, and we also have with us Aretha that will introduce herself as well. And as you see before us, we also have my book that you can purchase out on Amazon called The Struggles. So enjoy the show. Come on in, get your other friends and family to join us because we're getting ready to go into hot topics with Lady C. Mr. Dunn, would you introduce yourself?
Hey, how you doing? First of all, it's a privilege to be here. Thank you for inviting me here. To be a part of this great podcast show. I am here from the Dallas area. I'm married with 2 kids, 4 grandchildren. Own a company called Power Play Podcast TV here in Dallas. We've been here for 10 years. And what we do, we produce and do podcasts from A to Z, from programming to branding, all the things that need to be done. My hobbies are, I just enjoy this life. Whatever come around life, everything in between traveling, yard selling, just a little small thing. So I'm just excited to be here.
All right, well, we are so glad to have you on the Lady C show today. And now we're going to turn to Aretha to let her introduce herself.
Hello, I'm Aretha Cooper Johnson. I've been married for 12 years. I have 5 children, 2 sets of girls, ages 9, 2, and 1 son who is 7. I've traveled a lot, and that's my thing that I enjoy the most is traveling. I've been in Africa, Nairobi, Kenya. I stayed in Manchester, England, and United Kingdom for a while, and now I'm back in America, and I'm just blessed to see the opportunity to be on the show today.
Well, we also thank you, Aretha, for joining with us on today. She mentioned all of her children, and that is just so much love to have in the house and to be around. Well, as you know, I am Lady C. I am a mother of 2 right now, and I am a single woman, Holy Ghost filled woman, a woman that loves the Lord. I am a working woman, oriented, and I am an intelligent woman. So I am here to bring you some news, some excitement, and just some good conversation. So let us get started. And we're going to go into talking about what women want. We're going to talk from Aretha's side of the fence, from her age group as women. And then we're going to hear from Mr. Dunn from the men on what men think women want. Well, as I start this out, as a middle-class woman over the age of 45, just stating what a woman wants, I can say the first thing that we women want, we want loyalty. If we don't have loyalty, we don't have anything. I know that they told us, guys, when we were coming up, you got to trust somebody. But now, if we're going to go scripture, you know, the Word of God tells us to put your trust in no man. But then the Word will tell us, you got to trust somebody. Well, the only way I can trust them is they got to be loyal to me. And what you say, you got to prove your word and keep your word. One thing that I am, I'm a woman of my word, and I'm a woman that deals strongly with accountability. You have to be accountable if you're going to deal with me. Because when we hold accountability one to another, we normally do things right and we operate in loyalty and honesty. But when we don't have any accountability, normally we get lied to, or we deal with mistrust and treachery. So what do you guys think about that? Do you agree with me that loyalty is what a woman really wants, especially in 2023? Because men 20 years ago are not like the same men that are today. Men 20 years ago, they had commitment, they had, I call staying power, they had patience. But it seems as if the men today, they don't really want to commit. They don't have no patience, no substance. And I mean, it's just, you're finding less and less strong, oriented men today than we did over 20 years ago. Let me hear one of y'all comment on that.
To piggyback off of what Miss Shaw said, I would definitely agree that women of all ages want loyalty, and I'll be speaking for women between ages 30 to 40. And I would definitely say that loyalty is an aspect of things that I want from a man, but I think one of the biggest things I would consider is important is that a man has fortitude. And the way that a person shows you who they are in the time of struggle or in the time of adversities is when you get to see someone's true character. So loyalty is definitely one aspect that you need. You want to find a good man that's good for you, because you don't want anybody fickle. And then definitely you want somebody who has strong fortitude and someone who doesn't bend or slip away, or I guess I want to say they don't begin to become weak in the eyes of adversity, that they stay strong and they keep strong character and they take care of their family and they stay focused on what's really important, because there's so many distractions.
But Rita, hold on. We're talking about what women want. And so I'm a woman of loyalty. And so if I'm wanting that, I have to be that as well.
That's true. You get what you get. You attract, actually in most relationships, you attract what you are. So if you find yourself in a relationship with somebody and you're like, man, I didn't know this man was so broken, it's because there's pieces of you that are still really broken, and that's what attracted that broken man to you. So you have to, seek God on how to heal those broken parts of you or the past trauma that you may be dealing with. Because sometimes it's subconscious. You're not really aware of the broken pieces that you're dealing with in yourself still. So loyalty is good, but we have to remember that we're going to attract what we are most of the times. So you have to make sure that you're whole as a person, so that the person you're looking for, when they're whole, you match, so that you're equally yoked.
Well done. I definitely want to hear what you have to say about this, because if we're talking about what women want, if I'm broken, I definitely don't want a broke brother stepping forward.
Well, one of the things that I was listening to you, and you were saying 20 years ago, you said men were different.
Yes.
Well, it's not. It's the same car, just different model. Men gonna be men.
Okay.
That's a thing. But I think sometimes women get caught up in loyalty from the jump. You're not gonna get loyalty, like you said. You in the ministry, it's kingdom building.
Okay.
And when a man builds himself, which a lot of men are free. You can't have nobody unless you're free.
Okay, but you're talking about these men with you said they're different vehicles. So let me make sure I'm understanding this, Mr. Dunn. So back 20 years ago, we had a lot of BMWs, we had a lot of Mercedes, but now we got Hondas. What's going on?
Well, the thing is, you have a thing called social media. It's accessible for you. You can just pop up and see what you want. There's no more dating, no more taking you here, no more the mystery about you. So now it's right in front of you. So now there's no work involved. When you put in work, you get loyalty. A lot of men want to put in work. And you don't put in work unless you're free. You're in a slave. When you get free, you work harder. A lot of men don't want to be free, so they keep being a slave to themselves or whoever around them. So when you find that man who's free with himself, then you can build loyalty. And sometimes women, you give your agenda out from the beginning. That's corporate America. That's not what life is about. You train. Because as a woman, the difference between men and women is that you always got a plan.
Right.
If my wife, she at home, she laying down, she got a plan.
Yes.
It's in her DNA.
Yes. So y'all hear Mr. Dunn saying, ladies, we gotta have a plan.
No. You have one. Sometimes y'all get sidetracked because you want that man so bad.
Oh, no.
That's true.
You want that man so bad.
You know what?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
See, the thing is, first of all, when we women going out here, we got to know what we want, because we already know what we will put up with and what we don't want to put up with.
Let me tell you my story. My story is that I met my wife online, been together 14 years. So through my trials and tribulations, for like 2.5 years, I was single. Because I wanted to look what I didn't want. You just find what you don't want. You find what you want all the time, then don't pan out. Oh man,
So
he ain't right.
you telling me, Mr. Dunn, you was looking for what you didn't want?
Exactly.
Okay, that don't make sense.
It does
Help
make
us
sense.
with that.
Because sometimes you get caught as men, light skin, little waistline, hips, whatever, to find out the inner part of that person, the inner part of you. that person accepts you for who you are instead of what they are.
See, and I like Mr. John. I like that Mr. John said that because earlier Ms. Charles said that they used to have BMW and Mercedes and now they got Hondas. I want a Honda because I could meet a man, he looked like a Mercedes and a BMW, but he could be a 1994 Pontiac. So you want a Honda because the Hondas are going to be reliable, stable, and the loyalty she's looking for, that Honda going to stay loyal and committed. It's going to keep running. But I had a BMW once and it looked so nice, so shiny, so beautiful, and it cost me so much. And every time that BMW breaks down, 10,000, 4,000, 5,000 for the engine. So the problem with women, we have to tell the truth to ourselves. We go out looking for Mercedes and BMW, so we think that's what we're getting.
Let me interject right there, Rita. That's the first problem with women we have. I feel that we don't have no business going out to look. Now let me just, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I got to interject there. Now the word of God said that he that findeth the wife findeth a good thing and obtain favor from the Lord. If we women really realize we the favor and just position ourselves to be found and just have it together every time we walk out the door,
I agree.
We won't have to look. And then we won't, while we're looking, the problem is when we go to looking, we keep finding the spoiled goods because we're doing the looking instead of allowing God to bring it to us. Now, I know everybody ain't Christian mind and ain't looking at the word like that, but even those that are in the world, the women, you still don't have no business going out looking for the man. You know why? Because we the prize. Let them find us.
But let me jump in there. I don't know the biblical scripture of that verse, but I do know is that in this day and time, she got pretty lipstick on, she got on braids, you got your hair, y'all peep. So when you peep, that's a form of looking. Because wherever you walk into, you want that man to get your attention. So you are looking.
We want to be looked on.
No, you are looking. No, you are looking.
We want to be looked at.
But let me give you an example. When you get dolled up, who you get dolled up for?
For ourselves.
No.
We women want to.
Well, I will be honest with you. I get dolled up because you never know when you go into public who you're going to meet, who you're going to speak to. And I'm married, so I'm not looking for a man, but I'm interested in being a news lady. So you never know who I'm going to come in contact with and who I'm going to meet. So when I get dressed up in the morning, I'm putting myself together, I'm making myself presentable. Because if I look like trash, people are going to look at me and they're going to make presumptions that she's trash. She didn't put herself together this morning. So I'm going to have to agree with Ms. Charles that we can get together for ourselves.
So you get ready in the morning, you get all dazzled up and cute, right?
Yes,
you say you said for people to look at you. Out of those two species of people, it's a man and a woman, right? So when they're putting you that compliment, which one is the highest?
Women actually judge harsher than men because women we buy designer bags, we get these long expensive weaves, we do all of these things, but men is just looking at us to see if we look decent, if we look well put together. So we as women find the woman's compliments to be more profitable, but men, they're not worried about all the fancy names designer stuff. They just want us to look nice.
No, but when you walk into an office, you in your office and you dolled up and your coworker said, oh girl, I like that outfit you got, and that guy said, oh, you look great today, Miss So-and-so, don't you go up a notch?
I'm going to value what the man.
Hold on, let me answer this. Don't you go up a notch?
But see, we're not usually in competition with other men. So
it's just a compliment. He trying to talk to you, won't get your number, nothing, but don't your ego go up a notch?
The woman's compliment has more weight to me. Since I'm not looking for another man's compliment.
Because the guy do that, he ain't trying to holler at you. That's one thing y'all need to get out y'all mind. Every guy who give you a compliment ain't trying to talk to you. Every guy get a compliment don't want to be with you.
And that's
every guy get that compliment, he don't want your phone number.
But Don, that's where I'm confused.
It's a beautiful black woman that he just said, you look great today, sister.
Okay, but wait a minute. I'm confused with that statement because most of the men that are giving these compliments are married.
They have hidden agendas.
And you don't compliment me because I'm not your wife. Give that to your wife. Give those compliments to your wife.
No.
It's a way you compliment. It's how you compliment. If you say you look nice today to me, that's fine. But if you say, wow, the way you look in that dress, I feel like you crossed the line. Because now you're making it a more physical aspect and not just a simple
especially if you're married.
But it don't have nothing to do with my wife and I. We can be out. I can see one of y'all. I said, oh, you look nice today with my wife, and she understands that.
So how would you feel if your wife turns to a pretty, incredibly handsome, wealthy man and
No
says,
problem.
"Oh wow, sir, you look nice today."
Yes.
You're telling me that you're going to be unbothered.
That don't bother me because I know I'm going home with her.
I do not
Okay,
concur.
even though you may be going home, but to me, that's
It's
a
a line
form
of
of
respect.
disrespect.
No.
Because I cannot be with my man,
Right.
and he looks out and see a not, because y'all men are visual. Y'all looking at hips, fingertips, y'all looking at the behind, and then you say, man, she's a nice looking woman. Do you think I'm going to let you just roll with that if I belong to you?
She's nice looking is fine. That's an acceptable compliment.
Yeah.
It's when you start being descriptive,
No,
like, whoa, look at that behind her.
My man should not even tell me another woman in the area of us is nice looking.
Then he won't even feel open to talk to you if you
That's right.
can't even express
That's
it.
right. Exactly.
He could be open and talk, but you need to be telling me that I'm nice looking, not the woman over there.
What if he told you already? Then are you okay
Already.
with it?
It's
If
okay.
he said, "Wow, babe, you look beautiful today. You look very sexy and beautiful," and then he says, "And she's a nice looking lady too, but I'm so happy to have my beautiful one."
Well, I'm confident, and thank you for telling me that I'm nice looking, but I still don't want my man telling me that one over there is nice looking too.
But I would want my man to tell me because I would want him to have open dialogue with me. I don't want him to be afraid to tell
You
me
can
simple
have a-
things.
you can have
and
an
he
open
will not tell
dialogue.
me anything major.
You can have an open dialogue, but I'm not going to have a dialogue with you telling me another woman is attractive and good looking, because then that tells me I'm not what you want 100%.
No, that's men's
that's
nature.
That's a person. I'm not looking at man or female. It's just a person. Because this adds it to it. Because one thing that you all sometimes don't take into consideration is that sometimes you hear what a man tell you without telling you. But he telling that woman, so you know what it sounds like.
Okay.
So you say, oh, she look nice in that outfit. So sometimes when you get your cosign, that you look nice in that, but as a man, I wonder how you will look. I'm going to buy that for you. So you got to think longer than that.
Mr. Dunn, that's good, but
No.
Mr. Dunn sound perfect.
yeah, that's good. It sounds like you really put that one together.
No. But the bottom line is that you have, see, you can't be on one track. You got to be on the open track. Because the open track is that if you let that person let you a human and you are free. See, a lot of people in relationships they together, but they ain't free. When you're free, that you can express who you are. That's one thing I can say about my wife.
That's bondage.
He's right. You
But
can
this
feel
is-
like a
but this is
prisoner
what
in a
happened.
relationship.
When my wife and I met, my attraction to her is that she had real short hair. She cut it off. It's short. And I could see her eyes. And I told her, I said, why you cut your hair and so low? It's beautiful. She said, that's the day I became free. That means that everything she do in life is about her. So I'm attracted to freedom, not beauty. Because freedom is anything in the world but freedom. You can say, make compliment, go see the world, don't be worried about that other person saying. So she's free. No matter if she be with me or not, she's free. A lot of people is not free.
Well, let's change this for a moment, because I definitely want, we women want to be free. I definitely don't want to be bound by no man. I want to be free. But first, before I even go into the relationship, as a woman, I'm going to be free. I want to kind of twist this around, because we're talking about what women want. And our first thing I said, loyalty. We women, we want loyalty, because we tired of being lied to by you men. Just tell us the truth. Be upfront. You either want us or you don't. You either attracted to us or you're not. We either sexually fulfill you or we don't. You want to commit and marry us, we your wife or we not. So we just asking for loyalty. But I want to turn this thing around, and now I want to get a little bit raw on what women want. And I want to talk about a little bit of this sexual involvement, because a lot of men think we women just want to be these quickies and want to be booty calls and think we want one night stand. And this is not what we women want. Now, as for me, and then I want to hear from you too, and especially from the man. I say as a woman, what I want to be made love to. I don't want to be mishandled. I don't want to be handled rough. I don't want to be no last minute, and I don't want to be no one night stand. And if I'm going to allow you into that space, I need you to value me and value coming intimate with me and treat me gentle. I believe that's what we women want. Now, I'm sure some women out there, some freaks that like it rough, they ain't even looking for all that. They just want to feel good and the job be done. But I believe a real woman of substance, all those things I just named, that's what we want. And can I hear from you? And then I want to hear from the man, Mr. Duncan.
I think I have an opposing argument to Miss Charles.
Oh,
sometimes. Okay, I'm married, so I've been married for 12 years. And making love is beautiful, it's fine, but there are days where let me see the appropriate term, would want to quit me. Okay, because I have 5 kids, and you don't always have time to make long-winded love. So sometimes you actually need to switch it up because it can get boring after 12 years of marriage. Do you want to lay down and do missionary every single night? No, that can get boring. So sometimes my husband and I, we do get creative, and we do want to have, it's not a one-night stand since we're married, but we want it to feel that way. And we want to switch it up, and we want to do everything completely different. And she says she don't want it rough. Sometimes I do. It depends on, you know, if we're trying to role play. Because, you know, in marriage, it can get boring if you do not seek out ways to make it exciting. You don't have to add people to make it exciting. If someone's telling you they need to add someone to make it more exciting, they don't value you as a human. But a husband and wife or man and woman can seek out more exciting ways, role playing, just changing up the scenery, traveling, doing different romantic things to make it more exciting. But no, I do not agree with Miss Charles. Love making every single night will be utterly boring. So we gotta switch it up sometimes. And long as your partner consents with what you want and y'all sit down, because the key here to every relationship is communication. So if you both talk about what you will allow, what you're willing to try, what you're not willing to try, then every night in the bedroom that you do spend with your partner will be fruitful and prosperous if you're on the same page. How do you feel about it, Mr. Dunn?
Well, now, hold on, Mr. Dunn, please, because I got to interject here. I agree with you,
Okay.
Aretha, on you got to change it up. But I don't agree with you on the roughness because each individual have their own sense of feeling.
Yeah, we got a limit.
If you, I mean, I guess maybe the audience can agree with me and maybe not, but if you were raised up rough and raised up in a rough environment, then I can understand you saying I want it rough sometime. I like it that way. But if you were really a person that has been raised up in church and you really kind of on a calm level, a relaxed person, you're not going to want all that roughness. You're going to want gentleness, softness, and pleasant. Now, I got sitting on the end of me, these two are married, and I'm single. But I have been married before. And even in my marriage, I changed it up, I switched it up. And yet the man did not understand what I wanted. Why? Because we were talking 2 different love languages.
Maybe you were incompatible.
You know, my love language is I like quality time. You know, I like physical touch. And so being married, the years that I was married, and I was, look, when you married, they say when you pass that 7-year itch, come on, a man and a woman ought to know what to do for each other. And I was married to him for 9 years. And for 9 years, he could never get the dialogue right. He could never understand my love language. Why? Because I had to continually ask the man for it. And I believe when a woman catches a man's eye, his number one job, I feel, Mr. Dunn, is to study that woman, learn that woman, figure out what she likes, what makes her click, what makes her go out, what pushes her button, what gets him, you know, in the playing field all night long. Oh, let me hear from you, Mr. Dunn.
Well, I'm kind of in line with her.
Y'all both against me.
No. The reason I'm saying this, love making don't start when you take your clothes off.
Exactly.
It don't start.
You gotta have foreplay.
It started day before. It started by the phone call.
Okay.
Because I don't do text. I can talk to you. I don't need to text you how I feel. I tell you how I feel.
Okay.
When my voice stopped, then I started texting you.
I like that. Talk.
So, now we're talking about communication. But on the sexual part, it was so awesome. Is that if you don't have no sexual freedom before I came into your life, I can't give you your sexual freedom.
Okay.
So when you have your own sexual freedom, you bring those together and you talk that same sexual freedom that you have when you talk about a bill, when you talk about you going shopping for a new car, that's the same conversation. But sometimes in relationship and marriage, that sexual conversation is way down the road, but everything else around here. But then you take care of that. But why come you the man? Well, he go over here and he want to be rough. No, I ain't about that. But see, but to me is that love making. To me, it's an art.
Okay.
You have to get to that.
Okay.
And you have to get to, see, that's why I tell you what you don't like. See, you're going to keep trying to find a man do all the things for you. You find what you want, but you ain't find what you don't like. That's what I'm saying, what you don't want. So you may meet that man, got everything in the world, but he like rough sex. So you going to, is that a red flag?
That's a red flag for me.
Wow.
It depends on if you have a safe word. If he stops saying your safe word,
exactly.
But,
then it's okay.
It's okay.
But let me tell you why it's a red flag. Okay, here's an example quickly. When you are used to Wall Street brothers, and that's what you used to, that's what I've had. I can't go back to a ghetto man because that's not what I'm used to.
But see, I don't agree with that. I don't. Because I don't agree with that.
And what I mean by a ghetto man, let me, because I don't want the men to be offended. So what I'm saying
Ain't nothing
is,
wrong with a ghetto.
when I'm used to a guy that is gentle with me, and that is
Ghetto guy can be
A
gentle.
ghetto man could be gentle.
no, he can't because
Yes,
ghetto
he
is
He
him.
could gently rock your world.
Yes, but let me tell you this. Have you ever been somewhere and you seen a guy and he be with a girl and you say, ooh, what he look over there? That one like his type. Because so it's something that she do.
It's exactly what he needs.
What he need.
Okay. So artists, y'all hearing this?
So-
Y'all hearing them both against me?
No, we ain't against you.
Now you ghetto brothers, are y'all able to really come down and break it down that good?
They be your
soft?
best, yes. They be your best protectors.
But this is the
too,
thing,
in the real
though.
world.
This is the thing. You said the ghetto. You only seeing the outside. You never had that conversation with him on the inside, one-on-one. His like, his dislike, his interest.
But I have.
Because that tag is on him.
But I have.
You're too focused on his phone.
No, it ain't. Okay, a guy that I've dated. When I say straight ghetto, he's straight ghetto, he's straight rough. I mean, we day and night. If I'm steady having a conversation with him saying, baby, I don't like it like this. Baby, can you be more gentle? Can you be more soft? And he continues to be rough, that's an issue for me.
Over how much time? Things take time.
I mean, okay, I dated this guy over a year. And now I made exceptions because he played football. So we know football players are rough. But I'm not the ball. I'm your woman.
I'll be the ball.
Look at you.
I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it.
And you know, my thing is this. I get, y'all may say, Miss Charles is bougie. No, it don't have nothing to do with bougie. I just like gentleness and softness. And when you bring me that roughness,
But this is the
I
thing.
reject that.
But this will come back to you. You have to either piss or get off the pot. So, but the point, you let it go a year.
Yeah, something not right.
And something would be good about him that you like.
Maybe you
Let it go a
like
year.
the roughness sometimes.
Sometimes.
No.
But
Stay a year, you gotta have something.
Because he got other things that compensate for the roughness.
But
He said that.
that's what I said. So, but what is your get out of jail card? For him to be a bit rough and all the other things, or is it about you? See, that's what I'm saying. Just sometimes.
Well, it's about both of us.
But let me go back. That's why sometimes you get off your plane.
I only got 3 reasons I will leave a marriage. And to everybody, it's gonna blow your mind. It's not infidelity. It is physical abuse. It is harming my children, and it is anything that would be seen as like if my husband was to be homosexual or something with a man while we're married. Those are my 3. And everything else, it sounds crazy. And some people are like, oh my gosh, she said she will accept infidelity. It depends on the circumstances, why and when and where it happened. Because I am very pro-marriage, and I just feel like neither my husband nor I are perfect. So a lot of things can work if you have 2 people willing to work on it. If one's ready to check out, then it doesn't matter how much you want to work on it. It's not going to work.
I'm for pro-marriage too, but my 3 things that I walk away from a marriage is, first of all, is homosexuality.
Yes.
Second thing will be infidelity, because when we come together and we say I do to each other, that's a covenant, and I value my covenant. So if the Lord can keep me, well then the same Lord can keep him.
That's true.
And my 3rd thing that'll make me walk away from a marriage is if he is not financially stable. And the reason being because the Word of God said that a man that don't take care of his household is worse than an infidel. If the man don't want to work, don't want to pay the bills, why we need to be married?
That's true. It's different if he's had a job and he fell off, but he's trying to get back on his feet. But if he's just sorry, that's a no-go for me too.
Well, I don't have a number. I just have me. My thing about
we gotta hear Mr. Dunn. What is your 3 things?
I don't have 3 things.
Okay, let's hear your one.
My 3, 13, 14 is me. My thing is that if infidelity in the marriage is I fuck up. It's just that simple. It could be anything from dating a chick, kicking it all the time out, drinking, everything.
There is different forms of
because
infidelity.
everything starts with me. So if you see my wife and she with Denzel and you saw her on social media, they hooked up, you ask, what did I do?
That is true. It takes 2.
What did I do?
And you can affect your partner.
That's why I said it starts with me.
That's true.
So something I ain't doing, or I need to be doing, or I should have been doing, that I ain't doing. So
that's a manly accountability. Not a lot of men would do that.
I'm free. I'm real.
Yeah.
See, when you have your own identity freedom, you can accept anything. It's your own validation.
Okay, we gotta make another turn now. We're talking about what women really want. And we came up with the first one, that women want loyalty.
We want the world.
And then, of course, we know we can't have the world.
But see, I didn't talk about that loyalty. Let me get that loyalty.
Go ahead.
Loyalty is built.
It is. It's layers.
It's built. And just like your job. Oh, they built my job 22 years. Why they on that job 22 years? But they built a loyalty along the way. So along the way, I think sometimes women, y'all give men y'all agenda too fast.
We do.
Too fast.
And we open up our book, let them read all the pages too fast.
My wife, when we met online, now listen, I'm tell you what my attraction. When I met her online, she had a half a paragraph. She said, Cajun, a Creole woman from New Orleans, love to have a good time, love seafood and see the world. That was it. Sometimes online give you a whole paragraph,
so they hold our
all
story.
these pictures. Yeah. So what I did, and I saw her eyes and I showed her, I was inquisitive. That means I had to put in work to find out what's the other paragraph. What's the other paragraph?
And that was my mistake. I met my husband online too on this dating website called Tag.
I did Black People Men.
And we met. We met in 2011.
We met 2009.
And the first date, he took me shopping at the mall. But I bought stuff for kids that were in need instead of buying things for myself. For homeless people instead of buying things for myself. But I would say that was my first mistake. I was mad. Only 1 year after being married, because I was like, he know me inside out, and I still don't know this man. Because I did do that. I had my whole life story on there.
Exactly.
And there was nothing for him to find out. And I wasn't a mystery. But now I've changed a lot. So I'm a mystery again.
So what guys do, they match everything. You say you go skiing, they'll lie, say they go skiing.
They sure do.
Right. Yes, you say, I like taking walks in the park.
Me too.
Yeah.
So y'all met y'all husbands and spouses at online. Now I met my spouse at church. And I heard you say yours 2009?
No, we met in 2011.
2009, I'm 2010, and you 2011. And they both still married, y'all. I'm divorced. What did I say?
There's a common denominator.
So anyway, so we need to turn this thing back to what I was saying. We were talking about what women want. And we talked about loyalty, and then we touched a little bit on the bedroom. So now we're going to get ready to talk on one more thing of what women want, and then we're going to go into the topic of over 45 days. And so what else I think women want is, I think we want respect. You know, these men out here with all of this, talking about femininity. Well, we women out here saying masculinity and respect. Because a lot of you men, y'all not respecting us. I cannot stand a man that calls me out my name. Hold on, Aretha. My mother named me, your mother named you, and your mother named you. Any other name besides what we were named by birth, don't call me that, because I am not, the B-I-T-C-H. I don't like to call the word. I'm not that. I am not your hoe. I am not your slut. And a lot of the rap music that we are listening to, and a lot of women are listening to, it's degrading us. Why are you listening to music that's degrading you? And then why are you allowing a man to call you out your name? But I do understand, in order to get respect, we first got to give it. So ladies, we have to carry ourselves appropriately in the streets. When we're out in public, we want to be respected as a woman, we got to act like a woman.
Sure.
let her go.
I would say, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Dunn, but I think most men look for the woman subconsciously. I don't think they're aware of it, but most men go find the type of woman that their mom was. So I found this to be very true. I don't know how other people feel about it. And then number two, I do agree. We want respect as women, especially when we're out in public. We want the whole world to see that you're treating us like a princess. You're treating us, on the highest pedestal and not the bottom of the totem pole. But I also realized that some men weren't even taught how to respect a mother. If you had a mother absent, if you had a drug-addicted mother, if you watched your mother and your father always have chaos in the home, then it's hard for you as a man to know how to treat a woman with respect or to even treat her as a lady if your mother wasn't a lady, or if your mother was a lady but you watched your father treat her like she was not a lady. That will cause the degeneration of how to treat a woman with respect. So, piggybacking off of something else Miss Charles was saying, all those horrible names. Yes, in public I don't want to be called that. But if that's in a bedroom and that person has consented that that's what they like, then that wouldn't be disrespectful. But anything out in public and you're calling me these names other than what my mother has called me, or Miss Johnson, or anything that's nice and fulfilling, you're telling the whole world, not just me, you're telling the whole world that you don't care about me, that you don't love me, and that I'm trash, that you have no respect for our empire, because I'm a representation of you as a man. So if you're treating me like trash, that means you treat yourself like trash. And as a whole, our marriage and yourself, you view yourself as trash. Because why would you take into the world your prized possessions and treat it like trash in front of other people? So yes, Miss Charles is right. We want respect.
But I don't want to be called even those names, Aretha, behind closed doors. Because the respect, I want the respect inside as well as outside.
I agree with that too. I was drifting off to another lane. I was talking about role playing.
I guess how I see it is that in this era, which is layers of ages, in their age group, that's how they were brought up to talk like that.
It's a little different.
It's a little different.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's why I put myself around young people to hear it. Because sometimes we get in our boxes, we don't hear it. So if you watch porn, that's how they talk. You watch porn?
I don't.
Why not?
Y'all, I guess I'm a square.
No, but I don't watch porn either. But
I go to church.
People tell me about it.
I go to church. I don't watch porn.
No.
And I even had a guy ask me one time, do you have the Silver 2000? I said, what is that? And I was totally lost. And I mean, I did not realize how many women go to these toy stores and pick up things. Well, however, I can't say
I pick up stuff.
For me, it's a problem. For me, it's a problem because I've been in church all my life, and so we were taught against those things, that those were idols, they were sin. And so if I don't have a man, I just got to tough it out.
Okay, that's if you don't have a man. But if you have a man, the marriage bed is sacred. Anything that my husband and I both agree with as one, we communicate.
Right.
If I want to be tied up and throw it against the window, and if I want to slap him, if we both agree to it and it's consensual, then the marriage bed is sacred. We can do whatever we want.
I mean, the Bible say that the room is undefiled. What a husband and wife do in the comfort of their room, they can. But now, why would I need a toy if I got a man?
Because we greedy. We want more pleasure.
Sometimes me and my wife will be out. And I'll grab her on the booty and be sweet. She said, boy, leave my booty alone. See, that's excitement. But ain't the
But that's your hands, not a toy.
I'm just expressing how sometimes we get so locked into our zone, we don't want to get out of it.
Yeah, you're keeping yourself in a long box.
Because this is the thing.
Nice, well, change yourself up.
This is the thing. Got a friend now. My wife got a friend. She's a little bit like you.
Okay, what's like? Mr. Dog.
Hold on,
what's like me?
Every man she meets, she finds more things wrong with him than what's happy with him. It's almost like David Chappelle. This girl told David Chappelle that she found this guy. Girl, he 80%, but 20% are missing. So but the conversation was every time something happens, girl, just something about it. Well, take the 80 and work on the 20. See, that's the thing. I think there's something. But anyway, in her situation, she said, if I get me a man, I'm going to build him. So I told her, I said, you're going to find something wrong with him.
Okay, I'm going to say in front of the audience, Mr. Dunn, don't come for me.
What you mean? What you mean?
Don't come for me. You know what? I'm not
You're not gonna see.
I don't look for a man to change him. Why? Because I'm not perfect, Mr. Dunn.
But-
I look for a man though that has values, that have morals, that is stable. I look for a man that is intelligent, that is masculine. I look for a man that is loyal, that is respectful. I look for a man that loves God. Why? Because he needs to have some of the same values that I have in order for it to work. They say opposites attract. That's true.
Well, let me ask you.
But I don't want to date a child.
Well, let me ask you. I'm telling you, how old are you?
I'm between 30 and 40. 30.
30. You 30? Oh, you're great. So let me tell you. So here, this is what I'm going down this road. The thing is that you have to do in this day and time.
What's the purpose of that?
No, I've been telling you why.
Okay.
It's just sometimes is that when you find where you are in your life and what you're doing, you have to come out that box.
Mm-hmm.
And when you come out that box, only you can come out that box. You have to do it. So you trying to find a guy that fit you. And what that happened is that she's 30. Let me get you down.
We're more open.
Let me tell you what 30.
Okay.
One thing she did, what I call the Michael Jordan rule, she practiced. She dated a lot to find her man.
Okay.
You have to date to find what you want.
But I do date.
No. Date to date, not to date to keep him. See, y'all want everybody who y'all date, oh,
And
he can
you
be a
do
good
not have to
husband.
sleep with
Everybody you date.
Hold on. I listen. I date. And we have joining us. Come on close over. Patrick is coming in to join us.
Sorry for my
So come on close with us. And Patrick is, you're 30, Patrick?
Yes, ma'am.
Have a seat and come close. So we have another guy that's joining us here. Patrick is 30. And so Patrick, we're talking about what women really want. And so right now, Mr. Dunn is beating up on me because he said I'm in a box.
No, because you have this.
She's saying she don't want a ghetto man, but her binocular said
this is
don't
my
come
point.
for me.
You can sit right here.
Oh, okay. Y'all want me to sit over there, or it don't matter?
He got either way.
Okay. I was for the camera.
So I want to say this,
How you
Mr.
doing?
Dunn, like you said, sometimes you grab your wife's behind, right? If I was dating, I want the same thing.
But this is what I'm saying. I said, I'm hearing. And I hear this a lot with women your age, not her age.
Okay.
See, that she says, dating ain't sex. Dating is practice. When you practice, you find out what you want, don't want, and you do want. You find what you're good at, what you're not good
Right,
at. But the other thing, you name all those things that you named, but one thing you didn't name. Sometimes y'all black women, you got to get out your race. He may be Hispanic, he may be Indian, he may be Chinese.
Okay.
Just
I
go
don't think
and
that's the biggest problem on this.
Yeah,
no,
I'm
because
not racist.
they figure this thing, they slim, the picking us against slim.
No,
I think the biggest problem is they come out prepared. Older women, they have this list already prepared of things my man must be, which closes the box to all the other options
I
that
agree.
you have. And so when you come with this long list and you're like, he's not this, then you've already projected your mind to say, well, if he's not doing the things on my list, then he's a no-go.
Yeah, no-go.
And this could be the most compatible person or the love of your life. And you're cutting him out of the box already because he's not fitting your long list of items. I think you should only come with those 3 things that would really kill your relationship or break your heart. Like you said, yours was infidelity, homosexuality, and I think abuse. If it's
No, not abuse. I said infidelity,
What's going on,
homosexuality. Oh, I said respect.
respect. So them the only 3 things that should be on your list. If he has a whole bunch of other things you don't like, you should wait it out. You should still date him, get to know him, because you might find that you really don't know yourself like you think you do.
Okay, let me ask y'all both a question. And Patrick, I want you to be involved on this because everybody, y'all see Mr. Dunn coming for me.
I just want you to be happy.
Okay, so
be free.
look, we got 30 here, and Mr.
60.
Dunn is 60, and I am 48. So y'all see this generation here. Now, a lot of the things that, and then we got 30. Patrick is 30. Okay, so I agree with a lot of things that the 30-year-old Aretha is saying. However, I'm not in a closed box. I have narrowed my specifics down. I mean, I'm very locked in on what I want. I'm not confused. I don't waver. I know exactly what I want to date, how long I want to date, and I know what he needs to have in order for me to be interested in him.
That's too much. That
too
list
much.
is too much.
That's too
You
much.
know how long you want to date? How do you know how long you want to date?
Because
You don't even know the speed of what you wants to date you at.
Here's the response to that. Every guy that I meet, I'm not trying to marry him. Every guy that's dated me, I'm not dating him to marry. Some guy I'm just dating to get some more experience. Okay, then, because say for instance, if I got 5 guys that I'm dating, out of these 5 guys, it's only 1 guy that I'm going to date serious because I'm dating with a purpose. These other 4 guys, I'm just dating to get more dating experience. And to bring this in as a guy that I've dated for a whole year. Now, when I tell you brother had so many red flags, because Aretha, the 30-year-old, said to date for a while and date it out, try it out. I think a whole year is enough time. And in a whole year of time, I'm steady saying, this bothers me. This is a problem. And he ain't changed it yet. Then I need to be out.
You should, yeah.
Because we're not compatible.
See, but
been in out one
but see, this one going back to freedom. When you have your freedom, you don't have so many guidelines and so many taglines and so many things that you have where it limits you. You don't want to be limited. You want to be free. It's a certain point in your life that you have to find out, I'm 47, 48, I'm going to let my hair down. I'm going to get free because the clock is running.
The clock. But I don't look at the clock.
No.
That's what messed us women up, looking at the clock.
But this is the other part I've been engaged in, is that the guy that you're trying to look for, usually he ain't mature enough, he ain't stable enough, he ain't that guy.
That's it.
So sometimes you have to either kiss with him or get off the pot. But it's so many women.
But why do we women have to reduce ourselves because the male is not he's not intelligent enough or he's not responsible enough? Why we got to keep reducing ourselves as a
something at the
woman?
beginning of the show. She gave a little tidbit about herself. She said she'd been to Kenya, all these places she went travel. One thing that women don't do, and I get tired of saying it, it's okay to go travel with your girlfriend. You gotta travel by yourself.
I sure did.
Okay, well,
best time of my
But-
life.
the 30, now Aretha, hold on, Mr.
Go
Dunn,
ahead.
Aretha knows me. Aretha, have I traveled by myself?
But did you meet
I'm not
anybody?
sure. I know you traveled with your man, but I don't know if you traveled.
But I went a whole bunch of out of the country places.
But did you meet anybody?
Well, sure.
Did you date them?
Well, of course not.
You get their number?
Sure.
You learn about their culture?
Some.
Okay, so that's what you have.
Like, I've been to Africa. I've been to Grand Cayman. I've been to Barbados. I've been to Jamaica.
That's 4 places.
I've been to Hawaii. I've been to
5
Paris.
places. About 6 places.
6.
Out of all the 6 places, did you get to see yourself dating one of those guys in the country?
Oh, I did. When I went to Barbados, yes. I seen myself dating one of them guys.
So that's what I'm saying. You have to go get it.
When I went to Grand Cayman, now, there's a lot of folks probably ain't gonna like this, but he was Caucasian. And when I went to Grand Cayman,
I just told you have to step out your box sometimes. It's okay.
I've dated a Caucasian guy before. Aretha remembers this. Remember it from a sleep. Mr. Gaines.
Was that a white man?
Yes, a Caucasian guy. And so I dated him, messed
I'm
around
attracted
with him.
to all
But
ethnicities.
I come to find out that I just like my brother.
If I had to go through it all over again, I would date out of my race all the time. Because what happened...
Well, you wouldn't exclude your race, would you?
No,
Okay, good.
no.
You mean just open the door to
Because
other
what
races?
happened,
and
I
ethnicities.
became primitive.
Black is here.
I became primitive to
I
one.
mean, I'm pro-black too, but I'm
I
still
became-
open-minded.
Have
what
a fine
happened?
black brother.
But I became primitive from slavery because slavery, my generation said, leave that white girl alone, you don't mess with that stuff. See, the mindset of primitive set in instead of freedom. Wow. Because right now, the woman that was over today is a black woman from Colombia. She your color, she talking that language.
But she black. That's close to
No,
us.
I'm just saying, but the culture I'm attracted to.
It's different, yeah.
A South African, it ain't about the color. The South African woman, a woman from Greece.
And people get confused.
Yes.
Races, you
No.
cannot be different races. Race is only white or black. It's
Yeah,
color,
yeah.
white or black. Your
It's a
ethnicity
secret.
is
Oh,
then
man.
what kind of what it is the detail of the race. So I'm black. You could be black and American.
Yeah.
I'm black and British. He could be black and African. He could be black and Portuguese. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Okay, now guys, we got to pull out of here because we're coming toward our close, and we're going to turn it over and talk about. I really enjoyed Mr. Dunn and Aretha talking about what women really want, and there are more things we women want we're not able to get those out. But women, we got a tall list on what we want.
Can I say my list?
Whether it relates to family, whether it relates to dating,
Finances.
whether it relates to finances, our careers, our children, and just a man in general. We got a long list, women. And so what we need to do, women, is kind of narrow the list down.
So just 3 important things.
Well, I won't say 3 or 4 because we women are entitled to have how many pits we want. But I will say we need to narrow it down, that we don't have all these things before us that we're trying to nip and we never get to do anything with. We're going to talk about over 45 and dating. Because right about now, and I know Patrick really going to be able to join us with this, because I know Patrick was dating, and then the thing kind of went sour and didn't go like it went. And I remember when Aretha was dating, and she was like trying out her clothes for real. And I don't know what Mr. Dunn's experience was on dating, but he's dated, and I know me. I'm dated. I was only trying to date Christian men. He had to be a Christian. He had to be in the church. God-fearing man. I would not date unsaved men. I would not date the brothers if they were unsaved.
Suppose he wasn't saved and you can work him to be saved.
Well, but
in a way, that's kind of good though, because you don't want to be unequally yoked with somebody. So in a way, that's kind of good. You don't want to be unequally yoked with somebody. So that's kind of that's a great perspective as well.
Yes, and that's important too, that you not be unequally yoked. First of all, the Word of God said, how can 2 walk together except you agree? So if y'all ain't agreeing, it ain't working no way. And so if I'm going to date, we need to be in agreement.
Let me tell you, I'm Baptist, my wife Catholic. So we've been together now. I'm transitioned over to Catholic. Because it's about the education, I'm learning more things, whatever. I ain't abandoning my religion, but it's about the spirit more than religion. That I'm learning things. But it's not the thing about you hear the thing and say, oh, the man supposed to leave, you supposed to do this. Some people, they do that. But when you have that freedom, I think about that freedom. I'm freedom, that freedom to learn, to express the things that I was taught primitive by see, one thing that hurt us, and I hear you say this the whole conversation, is how you were raised. Something you were raised to get that out your system.
I mean, I
don't mean it was right.
We all got a lot of traditions on how we were raised.
Yeah.
But how I was raised helped me to be who I am today.
But you have to pick and find something that you were raised. I ain't gonna use that in 2023.
Okay.
It don't work.
Okay. I'll let you pull that card on me right now. But I'm gonna say this. In the dating world, I mean, I appreciate my roots and how I was raised because. I mean, folks ain't had to come get me out of jail. Can't no slew of me and say I done ran up in her, man, I done had her, man, I done had her. A lot of the way I was raised helped me because I have my character. And my character is important to the outside world in the community.
You see, one thing that we men do, I don't know if you women do it, every woman we meet, we don't take home to mom and family.
That's correct.
We don't do that.
And we women don't either.
We know who it is. And when you know, you know.
Right.
I don't care how fine, how good you know. Nah, I can't even go around.
I think a man, all he needs to do is spend 5 minutes with a woman and he know if that's the take home woman or not.
To a certain extent. I would say, I'm sorry, my bad. I would say to a certain extent because sometimes you'll know and you'll be aware, as she was stating, but most times, let's just say, a lot of times in general, people don't really show you or reveal to you who they really are in the beginning.
Right.
So, a lot of times it's just like you don't really get a chance to just really know someone until you actually start dating them or even if you get married to them and start living with them. So a lot of times people not gonna, and I'm speaking on behalf of women and not y'all ladies, but in general, a lot of times or men in general as well. A lot of times people, they're not gonna show you who they really are. Sometimes people, they'll it's kind of like the library. When you go inside the library, they have a book, they have the title and the cover of the book, but a lot of times the image and the picture of the book doesn't symbolize what's inside the book. Sometimes you open up the book, you become to discover, you become to get more aware of something way totally different than what you see on the cover or the outside of the book. So what I'm saying is, a lot of times people don't, that's men and women, vice versa. They don't really show you who they are. They're going to show you the real nice, sweet, kind, loving, the caring, nurturing, or the comforting side of them in the beginning.
Those called
and
traps,
exactly. Those are like traps, or those are like way to wheel a person in. If you ever been fishing, they wheel you in. But then when you start dating them, or then when you start, let's just say start living with them, then they're, because the person, the sweet, nice, and kindness can only stick around for so long.
That wears off.
It wears off. That's what I'm going. Right, exactly. And so then that's when you find out when a woman has a real bad attitude. When you find out when they become very ratchet. You find out when they, again, like she stated, the sweetness and kindness and caring and all this stuff. That only goes so far.
That's
but
why.
Who are you really? You know what I'm saying?
Brother Patrick, that's why I don't know about all women. Tell me the 30-year-old. Do you agree with this? When I date a brother, and let me not say brother, let me just say regardless of nationality, because I am not racist. If God sent another nationality in my life and I fall in love, hey, I'm rolling with it. Now, what I do want to say, when I date a guy, I purposely sometimes push buttons because I need to see him in his good face. I need to see him in his mad face. I need to see how he's going to handle. Is this grown man going to have a tantrum? Do he got anger management issues? I mean, I'm pushing buttons in this man because I need to see every program, Mr. Douglas.
See, but that's the thing when you date a black man. He don't want that. He want to see. And I'm gonna go back and just change gears. He don't want that. He want to enjoy life. He got the pressure of being a black man. He got the pressure of keeping a job. He got the pressure with his tag is all on him. So now you're trying to test him all the time. And do
don't test us women.
Hold on. I'm saying it's different. So let me give you a damn. So now they go back to, okay, here I am. I'm this guy. I done found this young girl. And, oh, you better let a young girl than me. So you know what? The young girl let him be free. Or that white, or that white, hold it. Or that white girl let him be free. Okay. See, y'all teach so much. I'm about to cuss, church lady.
No.
Y'all give a black man so much shit. He don't want to do that. He don't want to be around. He want to be free.
But I think that comes from our fear of being disappointed and let down in a man. That's what I'm bringing.
Yes.
Because I'm not combative. I just want to know what I'm dealing with.
Like
Brother Patrick
you're not gonna know. You're not, and they go back. You have to build. You have to build that house. You have to build everything you do.
But he is right. You can't tear down a house you don't even have.
But I don't tear it down. No, listen. Just like you men test us women, Patrick, Mr. Dunn, y'all test us women.
Test nobody.
We as women, we test y'all, but now I'm different. There might be other women.
Maybe not sexually, but maybe personality-wise, maybe. It's different other dynamics.
When I'm testing a man, I gotta make sure that when heat hit, are you gonna stick with me or you gonna run? When trouble rise, can you take over and lead and handle it, or are you gonna walk away and be a sinner?
I got a friend told me this. And you can ride with it. He told me this over 30 years ago. He said, in a relationship where you spend 70% trying to figure out and 30% having fun, you leave that relationship alone. He leave it alone. So it should be flipped. So every time you call, man, she doing this, she doing that, but you never get a good time. Man, I'm gonna test her out. All that testing. So you wasting all that energy trying to figure something.
Like I'm doing it every day, Mr.
But it don't matter. So you be in your DNA. Enjoy it.
It's in my DNA.
Exactly. So this is the thing. And this what happens with some women, not all women, just some of my black women. It can be a guy. He can be a good guy. They're having a good time. Patrick, we had a good time. But you know what? It's just something about it. You knocked him down. He opened the door for me. But you know what? The last guy, he made sure.
Come on. Listen, man. You talking, man. I got familiarity. Yeah. They used to what they familiar with. So when something else new come and introduces or imposes itself, they're not very aware for me because they're not used to getting or receiving that type of love or treatment from a guy or whatever like that. So they're used to some. I'm not saying y'all, but ladies and gentlemen, they're used to certain familiarity. So if if a woman is used to a man physically abusing her or verbally abusing her, then that's what they're used to. So when somebody else come along that's way more trying to be God-fearing or loving or trying to, treat them as a lady or queen, you know what I'm saying, or go over beyond, it's like foreign to them. It's because they're not never used to that.
See,
so
one thing about
women,
I let you know this, let y'all know this, is that sometimes guys, they got a nice car, but let them take you on a trip instead of a journey. You want to go on a journey. Y'all, that's what a child was first. We can't go to LA. So when a man with you, enjoy the trip. Next time, enjoy a second trip. Next time. So now all them trip turn into what? A journey. So now I like him. I enjoy him. But sometimes you want to go on that journey right away. He ain't this, he ain't that. I ain't used to that. But you take time on that, enjoy that trip. And so when I just feel that sometimes women like you are a rarity. Not in a bad way, you're a rarity. Because whoever gets you, all we gonna do for him.
Y'all heard that.
No, not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. Because he's out there. But the one thing about him, he got to be mature enough to be with you. A lot of men be with you, even they 40 and 50, they ain't mature enough. They ain't ready. They're not ready. So whoever he is, because your thing may be a young guy, 38 or 35, may be that guy for you. But he did everything, sold dope, did everything. But now he needs you now.
You know what, everybody, I'm going to say this. Mr. Dunn here want me to be a freak.
No, I want you to be free. No, hold on.
Freak.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're talking about dating over 45. And as we heard Mr. Dunn, we have heard Mr. Dunn. He had his specifics on dating and being free and out the box. And we heard Aretha, she's 30, and we heard, how she was expressing on dating. And we also heard Mr. Patrick on his expertise on dating. But Mr. Dunn, then let me know I ain't got no expertise.
But let me tell you.
Who gonna open the box?
I'm gonna ask you one thing.
Who gonna be the great man that open this box?
I'm gonna ask you one thing about freedom.
Yeah.
What is freedom about?
Freedom it's about being free.
Freedom about letting go. If her and her husband break up, she gonna go through a little period, but she gonna keep on moving, right?
Real fast.
If you and your girl break up, the process is to keep moving. Not to get.
Wait, because you see how he looking. Because Patrick went through that process and he couldn't keep moving.
But he wasn't free.
He didn't want to.
He
That was
didn't
a
want
choice
to.
he made.
Yeah.
And so
You can take time to heal. That's
Yeah,
fine.
take time. But it's okay.
don't take so much time to bury yourself.
But see, this thing, freedom works while you in a situation, not because you get in a situation.
So, Mr. Dunn, why do you think, because we talking about dating over 40, if you're just tuning in, not over 40, 45 and over dating. Mr. Dunn, why do you think I'm just in a box and closed in? And the reason why we're hearing Mr. Dunn is the oldest out of us all.
Season.
He want to use the word season. I'm taking the
reason
salt
I say
out.
that because your conversation about how you were
Wait a
raised,
minute. Give me the salt.
it's all about how you raised.
Yeah.
It's Christian based and what you were used to.
Okay.
As long as you got those three in your DNA, it's gonna be hard for you to meet that person.
Okay.
Those three. That's not about me just listening to you.
So are you saying with me out here over 45 and dating, are you saying that I'm going to be not likable?
No.
And not
Out
enjoyable?
of those three, it's gonna be that guy who can deal with those three. But on the consensus, every guy in this world of social media, I get what I want, I got pick and choose, that's gonna be hard for you.
My biggest problem, and I have to admit, just from 25 to 30. 25, I was so controlling. I had to have everything my way, the way I say, immediately my way. If you don't do it my way, bye, gone, beat off. But now I'm 30, I matured a lot, and I actually found out that I'm happier not being in control of everything. So I think that when you open yourself up and become more open, you relax more. And if you're looking for a man to lead, then let him lead and relax more, take the back seat more. And you will find that you will have less stress and you will be happier when you're not in control of everything.
And one of the things that for you, when you in that situation and you become free and you let that person lead, you feel so good. It feels so good.
Well, I'm gonna say this, everyone. I'm gonna say that I flow in my femininity, and I love who I am. We have to come in connection with ourselves, and I love legacy. And I am a gentle woman, and I do want the man to lead. I can be submissive. I can be humble. In fact, I want to. I want to serve. It feels good that I can say, baby, can you take the lead? Can you handle this? Can you be the man?
And that's good. And that's good. But every woman ain't like that though. Every woman don't allow the man or the gentleman to lead because they're so used to, you know, in general, they're so used to overpowering or
overstepping the boundaries.
Exactly.
Yes.
Or the limitations.
And I have not always been like this, Patrick and Aretha. I had to grow Mr. Dunn into this because, you know, I dated guys that were confused about who they were. And so when you get with men that are not confident with themselves, then what the woman has to do is, and we ain't got no masculinity. God made us to be feminine creatures. But what we try to turn up the masculinity in us and to take the lead and to overstep the man. And so then the man like, what I need to be here for?
See,
I'm fighting for masculinity.
A woman can't be, Miss Charles is right, a woman can't be safe in her femininity if you have a feminine man who makes you feel in fear. Whether there's financial fear or not being protected and kept safe, he's not making you feel secure as far as like if a threat comes around or financial extreme instability, because everybody falls off sometimes. But to be the most feminine woman, gentle woman I can be, I do have to have a real man. So if I have a feminine man or one who makes me feel uncomfortable or unsafe, I can see why I would then become masculine.
I'm gonna give you something right now.
We gotta get ready to close, but that's it. Now, what Mr.
And I have
Dunn,
one more thing I want to say too.
actually, when Mr. Dunn finna speak, then Aretha and Patrick and me come with the closing in. We're getting ready to bring this segment of 45 over in dating and what women want. Let's hear it.
Well, this is just a drive home with. You remind me of a friend of mine. He's been a drug dealer. She was a dope dealer. He told me something that made so much sense. He never got caught. He never got busted. Because he always paid his lawyer. But he told me something. He said, you can take this with anybody out there. He said, when you in something that you enjoy doing or you want to do, he said, have fun. He said, I had fun pushing dope. Because I don't worry about who's behind me. I don't worry about the competition. So, if you ain't having fun, don't do it.
Flow freely.
So, your life in the day, if you're going to date a new guy, first of all, you got to have fun doing it. You can't come with all these long agendas. And he told me that. And I always wondered why. He never got caught things like he said because he had fun. He took care of business. So, have fun when you meet that. Don't go in there, you ain't Christian, you ain't this. Have fun.
You know, I have fun when I'm out here dating Mr. Dunn, but the problem is the men.
Don't be settling.
That's it. I can't settle in the men. And here's
You
a
don't
quick,
settle until you find out what he
here's a
about.
quick instant. Because you men are not ready for us. I don't even want to use the word strong because y'all say we're aggressive when we use that word. But you men are not really ready for a confident woman of value. And this is
I'm
why.
a mature man now.
Let me say this. This man one time that I was dating, he was getting ready to put his shoes on. But I beat him to it and went and got his shoe, put it there for him, and then I said, give me your feet, let me put your shoe on and tie it up for you. Is that not serving? He didn't know how to receive that. He was trying to do it, and I said, baby, let me help you. He trying to do it. So I said, okay, let me just step back.
I went through that. Because my wife was used to taking care of her mom and her son. She was used to being in that. So through time, you gotta let a man get that. He had to get to that. Because now he feel like, as a man, we do not want to
man that I dated you for a year and over, here it is. You didn't let me help you with that shoe.
No, it ain't that. No, as a man, is that you have to let us get to that.
Okay.
We don't want to feel like we're a child. Let me tie your shoe. That may have been his mindset. Oh, yeah, but it could have been.
Looking at it from a servant
Yeah,
perspective.
that's how you saw it. He want to get to that when that day he said, baby, I am so tired. I hit my shit. Now it gonna, like she said, communication.
Then I'm gonna be like, oh, you want my help?
See that? There you go. See that? There you go.
Maybe you ain't gonna never want your help again.
So anyway, we're talking about over 45 and dating. Now let's hear what you have to say, Patrick.
I just wanted to top it back on, the subject that we were speaking on a while ago. Now listen, I'm not saying it's a greater, or less than circumstances, because, we all on different levels, different chapters in life, whether it's good or bad, positive or negative. So I want to top it back on, when y'all was stating a while ago, it just kind of rung a bell in my spirit. Now listen, sometimes it's easily said and done. Some people can get over a person if they've had a bad, broken or damaged relationship. And then some people can't. It's a process. You're not just gonna, get over somebody just overnight. Yes, yeah, I agree with the sister here. Yeah, you do need time to heal, but sometimes it takes some people a little bit more longer, to heal than versus someone that's, less than a month or two. So it's a process. So I want to encourage, if anybody's online that's listening to this, if you're having that struggle, it's okay if you need a little bit more additional time to essentially heal, because when you truly love and care for someone, when you truly love and care for somebody, or you was deeply in love with somebody, that just don't go. It's not a switch you go on out. You turn on off and on. You understand what I'm saying? So I just wanted to top it back on, because I know the ladies were stating that you can just move on, and some people can, and some people that's not a greater less than, but everybody is on different levels and different chapters and different aspects of life and things of that nature. So if you need time to grieve, if you need time to heal, take that additional time, because it's better to all the way completely heal and become whole before you actually jump into something else. I mean, I just want to say that, because a lot of times in the past, everybody know me. Even now, people be like, brother, this ain't the same brother Patrick we know, because he wouldn't be without a woman that long, But it's just like when your heart is really deeply in it, when you truly love and you really valued and care for someone, and you got betrayed or got damaged or got hurt, it don't feel great and good. So you're gonna need some additional time to essentially go ahead and heal. So I just wanted to, state that back out there, because somebody may be struggling in that area. Yeah, it's easily said and done. Oh, well, you can just get over, let's just say some people can mentally. Some people
Patrick,
can't go.
Let's just saying damage. And the reason why I don't like that word, let's just say life happens.
Right. Well, I mean it. Right. Exactly.
I mean, there's no perfect woman, there's no perfect man, but life happens. And what we have to do, we got to be prepared for life to happen. Aretha,
expect the unexpected. That's it.
That's it.
I'm Aretha Johnson. I would like to thank you for my time on the show. I enjoyed Mr. Dunn and Mrs. Charles and Mr. Patrick's word of advice and their perspective on life, and that's my closing statement. Thank you.
All right, as I come to a close, let me just state that, in dating, leading into marriage, that we have to allow room. I always miss Mr. Dunn, y'all, for the mishaps. Because I dated this guy, and then we got married. And even in our marriage, I wanted him to leave Mr. Dunn and Aretha and Patrick. I wanted him to take control. And he had issues in doing that. So then it caused the aggression in me to kind of come up. Okay, I gotta do this. I wear a dress, but I gotta wear the pants too. So then it made it seem like that he was steady fighting for his masculinity, but he did not realize that he was dumping masculine toxicity in our marriage, with him not stepping up being the leader and being the man.
Did y'all divorce?
We got a divorce, but before we divorced, I tried to make sure that I did everything, because I got to be responsible for me. Right, and he has to be responsible for him. And so everything is not about sex. Marriage is about sex, about communication, about providing and supporting one another. Sacrificing children. Commitment. I'm here for you. Dedication. I'm pushing you. I'm encouraging you. We got all this in the bowl of a marriage. And when you have one person that is giving this and the other person is not, this is a losing battle.
Listen, that's good.
And
I like that first lady. I like that first lady.
When I was married, Mr. Dunn said I was in a closed box. Maybe I was. I'm teaching. But one thing I did do for my husband, I made sure that I was available. When he spoke, I made sure I listened.
Attentive, supportive.
Even attentive, supportive, even being a church girl. I didn't go to the toy store, but I went to the lingerie store. And at the lingerie store, I would buy things to keep him interested so that he wouldn't have to go out and sing. And I would, go buy heels, because men like heels. Men are vicious.
That's true. I say amen.
And I did. And I asked him what he wanted. And you know what he told me? No, he ain't want no toy, Mr. Doug. Y'all, I asked him what he wanted. And you know what he told me? He said, just love me. And I focused on just trying to love him, but keep him happy, satisfied.
What kind of love?
Love, to me, loving him was...
Going back to me.
Okay, loving him, and I'm going to respond the way I want to respond, Mr. Dunn. I felt when he said just love me, he was saying, hear me, support me, go with what I say, respect me. And those things
comfort, nurture.
Yes, nurture him. And those are the things I tried to do.
See, as you build a relationship with a man, you have to peel the layers out. It takes time to get that loyalty. See, because we men, we do them short answers.
I wasn't peeling no layers. What I was trying to do was just cut right in the center. That's the problem. Oh, y'all caught this on Facebook. You caught it. Okay, so anyway, one thing I have learned in being almost 50, and I am 49, the one thing I've learned is that most things that men really want, they just really want respect. And Mr. Dunn, I want to respect whoever this king don't be. He's not going to have a problem with that because the respect in me already, and I want to give it. I don't want to give him mouth. I want to give him love. It's going to be different. I don't want to give him compatibility. I don't want him to have to fight with his manhood with me because I love being a woman. I have passionate ways. I'm very romantic. And so this time around out here dating, I really just want to be his princess. Is that all right?
Your next man may be Jose.
Oh, Jesus. Listen, you don't know what Jose is that. Okay, so we're coming to a close. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Mr. Dunn, Patrick, and Aretha with us today on Work Women Home and Over 45 Dating. I also want to tell y'all that I have the book out called The Struggles by Lady Charles. You can get this on Amazon. And also the Cash App is $mya4400 if you would like to see it in. Once again, we appreciate you for tuning in on the broadcast today with Lady C. We thank you, we appreciate you. And if you don't know or understand nothing else, know this, that God loves you.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen. Thank you.